The great dome of St. Peter's Basilica loomed against the night sky, its shadow cast long over the city of Rome. The year was 1492, and the Eternal City was anything but serene. Beneath the grandiose facade of the Vatican, the heart of Christendom, a labyrinth of secrets twisted and turned in the dark, whispers echoed through the corridors of power, murmuring the name that sent shivers down the spine of even the most devout. Rodrigo Borgia, now known to the world as Pope Alexander VI. Rodrigo Borgia had ascended to the papacy not through divine intervention, but through a calculated dance of bribery and political maneuvering. He was a man of ambition, cunning, and charm, traits that made him both feared and revered. But it was not his ascent to power that would immortalize his name in the annals of history. No, it was the hidden sins that lurked behind the holy veil, sins that would soon come to light in the most scandalous fashion. It was an unusually cool night when Lucrezia, Rodrigo's beloved daughter, found herself wandering the halls of the Vatican, her golden hair catching the flicker of candlelight. She was not alone. Behind her, Cesare Borgia, her older brother, walked with a silent intensity. Cesare was the embodiment of danger, dark, brooding, and fiercely protective of his family. The two siblings shared a bond that was as enigmatic as it was powerful, a bond forged in the fires of their father's sins. "Father has been acting strange," Lucrezia whispered, her voice barely audible. "There are rumors, Cesare, terrible rumors." Cesare narrowed as he glanced at his sister. "Rumors are the lifeblood of Rome, Lucrezia. But tell me, what have you heard?" Lucrezia hesitated, her delicate fingers fidgeting with the edge of her sleeve. They say he has taken another lover. And this time, it is someone within the Vatican itself." Cesari's jaw clenched. The Borgia name had long been associated with scandal, but this, an affair within the sacred walls of the Vatican, was beyond even their tolerance. The whispers that followed their father had grown louder in recent months, but they had never imagined the rumors would lead to this. "Do you know who it is?" Cesare asked. The siblings' steps quickened as they made their way to the private chambers of Pope Alexander VI. They knew that the only way to protect their family was to uncover the truth themselves before it was too late. As they approached the Pope's door, they heard muffled voices from within. Cesare motioned for Lucrezia to stay back, drawing a dagger from beneath his cloak. He pressed his ear to the heavy wooden door, straining to catch the words being spoken inside. "Must be discreet," a woman's voice said, tinged with urgency. "If anyone finds out, it could mean the end for all of us." Cesari's blood ran cold. The voice was familiar, too familiar. He pushed the door open just a crack, peering into the dimly lit room. What he saw sent a shock through his system. There, standing beside Pope Alexander VI, was Giulia Farnese, a woman known throughout Rome for her beauty and influence. She was also the Pope's mistress, a secret that had been whispered in corners but never confirmed. Yet here she was, in the very heart of the Vatican, speaking in hushed tones with the man who held the highest office in Christendom. But it was not just her presence that alarmed Cesare. It was the look in her eyes, a mix of fear and determination. Giulia was no mere pawn in his father's games. She was a woman with her own agenda, and whatever she was planning, it was dangerous. "We cannot let this continue," Cesare hissed as he stepped back from the door. "Father's affair with Giulia will bring ruin upon us all." Lucrezia's eyes widened in shock. "Giulia? But she's been with him for years. Why now? Why would it become a threat?" "Because," Cesare said, his voice dripping with venom, "there are those who would use this against us. The cardinals, the noble families. They have been waiting for an opportunity to strike, and this could be it." Lucrezia's mind raced. The Borgia family had enemies on all sides, and any scandal could be the catalyst for their downfall. They needed to act quickly, but how could they stop something that had already begun? We have to confront Father, Lucrezia said, her voice trembling. He needs to see the danger he's putting us in. Cesare nodded. We will confront him, but we must be careful. If we accuse him outright, he could turn against us. We need to make him see that this affair is not just a personal indulgence, it's a threat to the entire family. Together, they pushed open the door to their father's chambers. Pope Alexander VI looked up in surprise as his children entered, his expression quickly hardening into one of suspicion. What is the meaning of this? He demanded, his voice booming in the small room. Father, Cesare began, his tone measured. We need to talk. It's about Julia. The Pope's eyes narrowed. What about her? Lucrezia stepped forward, her heart pounding. Father, we've heard rumors. Rumors that your affair with Julia is no longer a secret. If these rumors spread, they could be used against us. You must see the danger. For a moment, the room was silent, tension hanging thick in the air. Then, to their surprise, the Pope's expression softened. He leaned back in his chair, a weary sigh escaping his lips. You think I do not know the risks? He said, his voice heavy with the weight of his position. I am not a fool, my children. I know the dangers that surround us. But you must understand, Julia is more than just a lover to me. She is an ally, someone I trust. Cesare's eyes darkened. An ally who could destroy us if others learn of her role in your life. Pope Alexander VI met his son's gaze, unflinching. I am the Pope, Cesare. My position is unassailable. No one is unassailable, Cesare countered, his voice sharp. Not even the Pope. We must be cautious. The Pope considered his son's words, a flicker of doubt crossing his face. But before he could respond, there was a knock at the door. The three of them turned as a servant entered, bowing low. Your Holiness, the servant said, a messenger has arrived. He says it is urgent. Pope Alexander VI frowned, rising from his seat. Send him in. The messenger entered, his face pale and drawn. He handed the Pope a sealed letter, which the Pope quickly opened. As he read the contents, his expression grew darker, the lines of his face deepening with anger. What is it, Father? Lucrezia asked, her voice barely a whisper. The Pope crumpled the letter in his hand, his eyes blazing with fury. It seems, he said, his voice cold as ice, that our enemies are already moving against us. The letter speaks of an alliance between several powerful families, an alliance forged in the shadows with the sole purpose of bringing down the house of Borgia. Lucrezia felt a chill run down her spine. What are we going to do? Pope Alexander VI turned to his children, his expression hardening into one of steely resolve. We will do what we have always done, he said, his voice filled with the iron will that had carried him to the papacy. We will fight. We will destroy our enemies before they can destroy us. But first, we must ensure that no more secrets escape these walls. Cesare nodded, his hand tightening around the hilt of his dagger. We will protect the family, no matter the cost. And with that, the Borgia siblings knew that the game had changed. The hidden sins of the Vatican were no longer just a threat. They were a weapon, one that could be turned against them at any moment. But they also knew that they were not powerless. They were Borgias, after all, and they had learned to survive in a world where betrayal was as common as prayer. As the night deepened, the Vatican's walls seemed to close in around them, the secrets they harbored pressing down with a weight that was almost unbearable. But the Borgias had never been ones to shy away from a challenge. They would fight, they would scheme, and they would do whatever it took to maintain their hold on power. Because in Rome, power was everything, and the Borgias would not let it slip through their fingers, no matter the cost.